And now it's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're glad to have you with us here on a warm morning. Temperature might even be in the 40s. I forgot to check. But anyway, a good morning to you. And we're on the air for Bates Ford, 1673 West Main and Lebanon, the dealer to trade for anything you don't eat. And believe it or not, we got Paul Tubbs again this morning. We got Ronnie Kelly. They're both here with us and just chomping at the bit to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to see you both here today, and I hope everything is well and get back in high gear after being off for a day or day and a half or 2 days, depending on who you are and where you are.
We had a day and a half. Mr. Bates let us go a little Christmas Eve, go spend time with the family. He believes in that, so everybody took off, had a good holiday, great time spent some time with the family, so we're back ready to get raring and roaring and get after it.
Yeah. Ronnie, I'm sure it's the same for you.
Yes, sir. Same thing, but it's time to go to work.
But next week, we kind of get to do some of it all over again.
Yeah.
Maybe for most people, not as much, perhaps.
No, but, this week is a great week for the car business. A lot of people, a lot of business owners and stuff come in to buy vehicles, tax savings, things like that. Plus, we have a lot of people year in that want to do stuff. We had a great time last week, traded for a lot of great vehicles. We got that vehicle that everybody, I bet, we get asked 100 times a week, have you got a F-150 under $20,000? And we actually got 3 now. So we've traded for 3 within the last week, getting them through the shop. So anybody looking for that cheap truck, we've got one ready to go.
Now, and both of you pitch in here a little bit. Evidently, this is really a desirable vehicle. I want you to sell it to me, sort of.
Well, you can't find it. It's if I could trade for 50 of them a week, and a lot of people, whether they're looking for a work truck in that price range, or they're looking for a something for their kid or something, that under $20,000 4-wheel drive F-150, we've got 11, a 12. I think we've got, and a 13. The 13, I'm pretty sure we sold Christmas Eve. But, it's hard to find that price range. Trucks are generally a little more expensive. The new ones are a lot more expensive. Yeah. So, finding that truck in that price range and that market is just a tough thing to do unless you trade for it.
Is there something particular about the F-150 that's really desirable?
Yeah, the F-150 is a nice truck. It's one of the best-selling trucks that's on the road, like that 13 truck that Paul was talking about. It was a young man that came in on Tuesday, and he looked at the truck, in which Paul hadn't had time to take it to the shop and check it out. And the guy said, when you run through the shop, I want the truck. Because you can't find those trucks, as Paul was saying. And once you find those trucks, and if you might have 3 or 4 customers, and that first customer come in and say, well, I'm going to think about it for a day or two. When you come back, the truck is gone. And I think people
don't keep them.
I think people think that, if you have those type of trucks, they think we're pulling their leg, but it's not so. They are really selling, and people are trying to find that price range truck. Just like on Christmas morning, I got a call. I was talking to a guy on a vehicle, and he called me on Christmas morning and said, hey, man, I'm going to take that vehicle. That kind of made my Christmas, too.
He's working even on Christmas Day, Coleman. See there, look at there.
Well, a sale's a sale.
Yeah. But no, we do. We got a lot of great stuff going, parts and service, got some great deals going. Of course, we've always got our cheapest oil change in town, $28.95 up to 5 quarts. Mm-hmm. We've got that Works vehicle special where we'll do oil change, tire rotation, check your brakes, batteries, tires, give you a full vehicle report. That's $49.95. We got great deals on tires. Ford's got deals where if you buy 4 tires, you get $70 rebate, and then if you do it with the Ford service card, it's kind of like a Lowe's or a Best Buy card where it's 0 interest. You can only use it at service if it's a Ford service card. It doubles the rebate. So I had several customers when I told them, hey, you can buy a set of tires and you can use their money for 6 months or, 0 interest, and you can get $140 back. They think I'm pulling their leg, but it actually is, it's a great deal.
Well, there are a lot of reasons to come to Bates Ford, and even another one we haven't talked as much about this morning, but anything that you want to get rid of, if it's got some value, you're going to give them the value for it, even if you don't trade for a vehicle.
Whatever you got. If you got motorcycles, boats, trailers, Mr. Bates certainly loves that aspect of the business is, we'll trade for anything that don't eat. And, if you've got a motorcycle or a boat, we had a RV right now. We've got a real nice 19 RV that we traded for, or travel trailer. Yeah. But we've got several things, jewelry, property. He don't care. He loves that.
Well, Ronnie, are you looking for a big day today?
Yeah, it'll be a good day today. Most of the time, like Paul said in the beginning, on the last week or two of December, it's really a great time to buy vehicles. And we have a lot of people that come in and try to buy something before the year ends.
Right. And you've got all those friends you've made for these 32 years or more that you've been there.
Yes,
almost
sir.
33.
Right, almost 33 years, and so everything is going good. If I can get Mr. Chris Dow to come in and co-sign for a few, we'll be all right.
Can you just go ahead and sign some paperwork now, Chris? We'll just take it back.
That's right. Well, I guess it's time to wrap it up here. We'll have some football games in big swing by the time you get back.
Yeah, we will. Me and you should have done a little bowl pick and see who could have figured it out the most.
Yeah, well, I guess it's too late now because it's already 10 after. But thanks for being with us. We'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you, Coleman.
And we always appreciate it. That's Paul Tubbs. He's the dealer operations manager, and Ronnie Kelly in sales at Bates Ford, 1673 West Main, the dealer. It'll trade for anything it don't eat. We are 10 minutes after the hour. It is a Thursday morning. It's the last Thursday in the month, and that means it's time for Fire Chief Chris Dowell to join us this morning. Even on his day off, he's here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Look a little bit different today.
I do.
You're more casual, but you're always kind of casual. But you look like you might be ready to get out and do some work in the backyard, or have already been one.
No, that's exactly where I'm going.
What you got to do?
Just a little bit of everything. Picking up, cleaning up, sticks in the yard, just when the wind blows, breaks treetops out and things of that nature. So I'll be doing a little bit of everything today.
Well, by the way, I have noticed that your son, I believe it's at Martin, where he's playing football, had a good year, was an all-star, I believe.
Yeah.
Did you get to see him? Is he home now?
Yeah, he's in. He'll be into January 8th, and then he goes back and starts the next football season. So he don't get much time off when you're playing in the OVC, or SEC or anything for that matter. You don't get much time off at all.
But he's doing well, I tell you.
Mm-hmm. He is. He's doing real well.
And you're not going to have him out there helping you today?
Well, I would if he was at home, but when he gets time to come in, he visits with friends, and so he was gone last night, but he'll be in sometime today.
All right. Anything exciting happened over the Christmas holiday? Or?
No, same old. They're just working, running up and down the road. It was almost like, I guess you can say another day, because I think we run just as many calls as they did, maybe a few less, but it's just as many calls as we did, on a regular day. So people still get sick. It doesn't matter.
Sick and
alarms.
Not a lot of fires.
Not a lot of fires, but you got a bunch of alarms and stuff too. Yeah. So it was another day in paradise.
I don't know what all we got to talk about. By the way, I'm scheduled to have Jim McDowell, the basketball coach, on the second half this morning.
Okay,
so maybe he's listening. Do you ever get excited about basketball?
No, not really. I mean, I like to go and watch them, 2 or 3 times a year or whatever, and I support them and all, but it's just one of those things that I don't even watch the pros hardly. And that's what I used to play. So, I mean, back at Tucker's Crossroad and places like that, I like basketball. We play it on the side, but it's just something about sitting and watching basketball it seems like it's a long, long, long game. So, but no, I do go and watch them every 3 or 4 times a year, and I support them. So that's all that matters.
Well, I think our boys and girls at Lebanon are doing quite well.
They're doing real well.
They both have winning season. That's about as far as I've kept up with them. But
right.
We'll find out.
Well, I mean, and you got Miss Lester, and then you got Molaski, and then you got William Porter's daughter, and they're all got awards and everything else. So I mean, and I probably left some people out, and I'm sorry if I did, but those 3 right there, I've been knowing those kids a long time. So they're ballers over there, and even on the boys' side, there's ballers over there too. So I need to get up there more, don't I? I'm just lazy anytime.
Well, I don't know. You got it. You have if nothing else, you have a lot as fire chief. You have a lot to think about. and are responsible.
Well, I mean that is true, but I mean still, I've got people up there that share the load in that thinking, so it all works out. I'm just a little bit lazy now in my old days, I guess.
Well, if our man in the control room is ready, I think we will take a break right here. By the way, MJ gone all week. Preston, are you listening to me? Yeah, MJ is gone all week. Okay, she'll be back when? Next Monday, maybe? Oh, I guess. Okay. Well, anyway, Preston Martinez, who's our afternoon guy, is here of a morning, and he is all set, and we're ready to take a break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
MJ be back tomorrow. That's what it is. And also, Commander Chuck, I believe, will be back tomorrow as well, taking some more holiday time off. But we'd like to thank our sponsor, Absolute Kubota. And they feature Red Max with a complete inventory of weed eaters, blowers, and hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner, up to a 4-year warranty. And they are located at 1325 West Main Street in Lebanon. And you can call them at 615-449-6171.
The regular season finale is in Houston as the Titans are on the road to NRG Stadium to take on the division rival Texans. This Sunday, the award-winning Titans countdown happens at 11. Mike Keith and Coach Dave McGinnis bring you the action with a noon kickoff.
Brought to you by Absolute Kubota Exmark, Bates Ford, Fakes and Hooker, Stevenwell Plumbing, and the Jewelers.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
It's a new day at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership at the same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. It's a new day at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Coleman and Company here on the 26th of December. Chris Bell, our fire chief, is here this morning. We can talk some more about Colton if you want to. That's what we talked about during the break. He's your son. You said not only made he made all OVC.
Yeah, all OVC sophomore, second team as a tight end, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And then he was All-American honorary mention. So he's got big shoes to fill ahead. And he knows it and he understands. He's been working out ever since he got here. So the work never stops. And
well, no doubt you're no doubt proud of his accomplishments here because the OVC is not up there with the SEC, but they play a pretty good brand of football.
Well, they play a couple SEC teams a year, so I don't know why they do that. I go for money, I'm sure, but anyway, they play a couple SEC teams a year, and next year coming up, they got Alabama. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
At Tuscaloosa?
Yep. Well, they ain't coming to Martin. Yeah, they ain't coming to Martin.
I can understand the money aspect of that,
right?
But I can't understand hardly any of the other. Now, from a big school's viewpoint, I can see why they want somebody that their third team could beat.
Yeah,
and maybe you get over some injuries, or you have time to prepare for the big opponent that's coming the next week.
Well, no, wait a minute though. When you say that, and of course that's kind of a slide, and I'm fixing to bite you on that one. But when you say the big teams come in and invite them up, now if Vanderbilt invited Martin up, it would probably be a heck of a game. I'll go ahead and tell you that now. It'd probably be a heck of a game.
How did Vanderbilt do with East Tennessee State this year?
That's East Tennessee State. We could beat. Martin would beat them like fools.
They used to be in the OVC back
yeah.
when I was in college.
Well, if Vanderbilt had any sense, that's where they'd go, was the OVC.
I don't know about that. There's more to it than just the wins, just the W's and the L's.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, Vanderbilt hugs a lot, and of course, we had a coach that was championship of life at Tennessee, and I guess what is Mason? He likes to hug and
that is not exactly what I was thinking about.
That's true.
There is money to be made.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a member of the SEC, when they split it all up, whether you had as good a record as Alabama, Georgia,
it didn't make any difference. That's just like the bowl games, I think, isn't it? Don't they get a share of that too?
Yeah, I think so.
But anyway, yeah, they got Alabama coming up, and I think they got Alabama and Memphis coming up. But they went. I guess it was Colton's freshman year, and went to Ole Miss, and I thought something was crazy was fixing to happen down there, and they was looking like they was fixing to beat them, and they run out of gas, put it that way. Yeah. And then at Florida, there was 17-0 at halftime. And then they run out of gas down there. So they don't have the big boys like the big boys. So, but they'll be okay.
Okay, I guess we'll switch subject here a little bit. What do you do at the fire department this time of year? Now, you were saying yesterday was another day in paradise, meaning that it was not a lot different from any other day.
Right.
And I think the fact that you have changed the way you operate. At one time, about all you did was fight fires, but that
was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. What brought about that change?
Growth and people getting sick, and all the resources.
Or was it the others kind of being shorthanded with so much to do, sometimes all at once, and you needed some help?
Yeah, but it was kind of like it's been longer than that. It's probably been, I'm going to say it's probably because we was doing medical before I became chief. So it was probably more like 15 years ago is when we started medical. And it was kind of like a nationwide swing. All the ambulance services and all were getting overwhelmed. So you got to do something. You just can't sit and wait. Because normally we wouldn't go to these calls. Right, and so now, you got Wilson County EMA, they're running their tails off too. And so they only have 3 ambulances, or in the city of Lebanon they do. They only have 3. And so when those run out, they're tied up somewhere else, you're not just going to sit in your house and have a heart attack and wait. It could be 15 minutes when one's coming from Mount Juliet or wherever. So that's kind of the push that that everybody, not just us.
Where did that come from? Did the public kind of demand it? Did the fire department see an opportunity?
This is nothing.
Say this is what?
No, this is nothing about Lebanon at all. We just jumped on board with everybody else when the trend started happening. I don't know where it generated from. It could have been in Nebraska for all I know, but. Yeah. When one fire department does it, you kind of pay attention to see what's going on. And if it's a good idea, then everybody else gets on board with it. You have conferences that you go to and all that stuff. So I'm assuming that's how it got started. And luckily, we've got medical people and now we're even advancing even further than that. So, we've got the people, and so why not use them?
Well, does that come at a cost? To use it costs more to run the fire department. Now, obviously,
those
calls.
people. But okay, that's a good point. Okay, so either way you put it, you got that many people in the city of Lebanon. Just take away all the EMS calls that we run. You still got to have that same amount of firemen. So my question to them was, do you want them to just sit in the hall and not move? They're still gonna make the same money, or because it was a battle. There was always a battle with certain ones that was on the council that no matter what I did, it was always going to be wrong. And so, but it's constantly a battle. So, okay, well, it don't bother me one bit. But if your loved one is having a heart attack or whatever, and we're sitting right down the road, I think you'd want us there. If not, we can sit on the couch. We're still making the same money.
All right, but you've had to have some extra training or have some people who are qualified in that.
Oh yeah, that's right. And so nobody's going to stop that. I mean, I can boldly say that. I don't think the mayor's going to stop that. I don't think anybody in their right mind would even try to stop. Actually, they would probably help us, to get more stuff than what more stuff that what we need.
How did I don't know whether you were at the helm at that time or not, but how did you make the transition? I mean, if you had somebody who was a very qualified fireman but wasn't skilled in those other areas.
No, but it was probably about, I'm going to say that was even further back. That was probably about 20 years ago is when we had our first responder class.
Okay.
And so that was, when I say first responder class, that's more than just putting a Band-Aid on something or doing CPR. That's other stuff that we do. You take, vitals and all of that stuff. So we got advanced in that, or we got trained in that. And then the next step that you start getting some EMTs, kids wanting to go to EMT school and things of that nature. So you got those that are working for you. Now you're at advanced EMT. And so we're at that stage now where they're going out and getting that. And I also have paramedics. So, it's just one of those things that just keeps growing.
Do you have to pay more to have them than you would if all they did was fight fire?
That's right. They get a percentage more, but really, to be honest with you, the stuff they see and the stuff they have to endure and the hours they have to get up, it's really not enough. But nobody's saying anything right yet. But I'm sure in the near future, probably a year or 2 years, I'll have to answer that question.
But what really you're telling me here, and I don't want to insult anybody, because we certainly appreciate people willing to fight fires and willing to put their life on the line at times. I mean, we lost
Wendell,
Oregon, yes, fighting a fire, for example. So, but at the same time, where there used to be, let's say, a lot less downtime. You were either washing fire trucks or doing maintenance or things of that nature,
right? Rather
than what you're doing. It's changed. The whole thing has changed quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I mean, before I remember when I was on shift and at the old fire station down on Hartman Drive, one of the council members said that we can go up and down Hartman Drive and pick up trash in our downtime. So, I mean, that was said. Needless to say, he didn't win next time. So, but that's been said before. It's also been said that all we do is sit around and sleep. And of course, you're going to have those cliches, but that's coming from some of the leaders that we had at that time that really never stuck their head inside of a fire station.
Yeah. Well, there were times when there probably wasn't much to do. But I mean, if you're there for 24 hours, you need to have some time to eat and sleep.
Well, yeah, I mean, but no, some of them are robots. A lot of the guys I got are robots. All they need is to be charged, I guess. That's the way it seems at times, just like his food incident. It wasn't an incident. It was just, they should bring their food into work with them. When they're out on the call, they can't stop and pick up food or nothing like that. They just need to take their food with them in the morning times and all of that stuff. So that noise is gone, and I hope it never comes back. But the people around the world, come to Lebanon, were sending stuff to us, ready to help us fight that battle. So it was one of those cases to where it was nonsense. But getting back, and that was part of the downtime that everybody talked about that we did, but we don't have downtime anymore. Yeah. We just don't.
You have to do quite a bit of training too.
Yeah. But here's
being recertified.
I wish I give anything. Put it this way: I wish I give anything if we didn't have any fires and people didn't get sick, and then we'd have downtime. That and people would be healthier.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So just the other day we had a 3-month-old, and so that our guys went in and it was at a doctor's office, and they went over to a doctor's office and they busted tail and done what they had to do, and I'm gonna find out today, what the outcome was. And so it's from birth, from newborns all the way up to 100 years old. It don't matter. They're gonna give in there, and they're gonna give 100% each time they go. And so if I lived in the city of Lebanon, I think I would be proud of what I got. every time you see a fire truck coming down the road, because you never know. It don't make no difference. We change tires. It don't make no difference. We change tires to doing CPR to doing whatever. It does not matter whatsoever. We're
about out of time here, but I think you've even used some of their expertise in doing maintenance or repair work over at your office.
That's right. That's exactly
some
right.
Of that work you've done in-house, let's say.
That's right. And so, the chiefs over there at Weymouth, they've been great. You know, if we need anything we work hand in hand. I mean, so the thing about that, if they're backed up, then they'll call us. If we're slammed or whatever, then we'll call them. You know, so
the good working agreement there.
Oh yeah, it's probably better than it's ever been in a long time. So,
you and Joey Cooper get along well and are friends, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. I on my end we are. I'd hope we are, but I mean.
Chris, thanks for spending time with us today on your day off. You, I guess, wouldn't have had to have done this. You could even sent an assistant or I'm just not coming, whatever, but I appreciate it.
It's not a problem. You'll get the check in the mail.
All right.
Chris Dowell, our fire chief, and that's part one of Coleman and Company. Hope you keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And Commander Chuck off for the holidays, but we would like to thank our sponsor, Bates Ford, located at 1673 West Main Street. They got the Works Vehicle Checkup. They will make sure your vehicle is ready for any road, $29.95 or less after the $10 rebate. And you can call them at 444-8221.
Caring for a loved one is as natural as the weather. But just like the weather, one moment it's sunny, and the next you find yourself in the middle of a storm. So when it came time to take care of my dad, I knew I needed help. A reprieve from the storm, so to speak. That's when I found the Pavilion Senior Living. They have expertise and experience to weather the storms in your loved one's life. And now I can rest easy. Thank you, Pavilion Senior Living. You should visit thepavilionseniorliving.com to find out more.
It's all about taking care of you, and THW Insurance will do just that. Are you looking for home or auto insurance? THW represents Westfield Insurance and other fine companies. Together, we will protect you and your family. Call Al DeAndrea at 615-547-5530 or stop in and see him.
Middle Tennessee's only synchronized drive-through light show, the Dancing Lights of Christmas, is back for our 10th season. And to celebrate, we have a gift just for you. Not only did we add to our existing 2 million lights dancing to some rockin' Christmas tunes over a 2-mile route, now for the first time ever, kids' activities in Santa's Village are included in the per-car admission. Pony rides, train rides, inflatables, petting zoo, and so much more, all included. The Dancing Lights of Christmas at the Wilson County Fairgrounds open every night through January 4th. Like us on Facebook and visit our webpage, thedancinglightsofchristmas.com, for all the details. Right now is a great time to step up to Exmark, the Mowers Landscape Pros trust 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand for as little as $2,699. Step up to the new Radius, the next great zero-radius turn mower from Exmark, or go all the way up to the Exmark Laser Z, the top of the line for zero-radius turn quality. See your local Exmark dealer for complete pricing and finance details, and schedule a free demo today. Stop by Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main in Lebanon, or call 615-449-6171.
Cloudy skies are back in the forecast for your Thursday. We'll stay warm, as this afternoon will top out in the mid-60s. If you're going to be out and about this evening, the clouds will stick around. Lows will be relatively mild for this time of the year. We'll bottom out in the lower 50s. A few shower chances by the weekend. That's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Nisa Lomax.
Coleman and Company, here we are, part 2 on this 26th of December. And Heather Sadler has not made an appearance this morning, and I don't see the phone lit up, so we're just going to talk about the Pavilion Senior Living at Lebanon. Heather is the marketing director. She has been quite busy. If you're one of our regular listeners, you know that a couple of weeks ago she was actually in West Virginia, and then last week she told us a little bit about her trip, a marketing venture there, and of course, she takes care of things at the Pavilion Senior Living here in Lebanon, located at 1409 Medical Center Drive. Medical Center Drive is one street past the way to the emergency room at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. So if you were going to their emergency room, instead of taking a left there, go one street further, hang a left and go down the street a little ways on the right. You'll find the Pavilion Senior Living right there at 1409 Medical Center Drive. And Heather is the marketing director, as I said. She appreciates your call, 615-444-5556. You go to their website at www.thepavilionseniorliving.com, and a wealth of information waiting for you there. Now, they provide assisted living, and they provide memory care at the Pavilion. And of course, assisted living, they're licensed by the state of Tennessee. They're staffed 24 hours a day by certified staff, and you can rest assured that the residents receive the best care and support by a trained staff who truly care about their residents' well-being. They strive for the residents to maintain the highest level of independence while supporting and assisting with activities of daily living. And of course, if more is needed, they have the memory care. The Pavilion Senior Living offers memory care for the residents that are facing Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia. The program is designed to be resident-focused by creating an individual plan that includes a person's life, skills, interest, and routine into a personalized plan. And the program has been designed to encompass every detail, including the design of the community, specialized training for their team, programming for activities, their culinary selections, and their coordination with the clinical services. They want to help the residents be as comfortable, feel as comfortable as possible in their new home. So whether it's assisted living or memory care, you can check it out. And of course, to truly check it out, you need to go and visit. You can see a lot on on Facebook or on their website, but going there and seeing it, even talking with some of the residents who are already there, is a good thing as well. And let me mention one more thing. I believe till the end of the year they're adding 14 rooms there, and a few of them have been taken, but it's actually a fourth wing at the Pavilion, and you can save $500 a month for 6 months if you are among the first 10 to sign up for the new wing. So you might keep that in mind as well. Well, that is it for the Pavilion this morning. I mentioned earlier that Jim McDowell, coach for the Lebanon Blue Devils, basketball coach for the boys, is going to be here, and he is. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It's nice to see you. Really nice to have you. And then when you sat down here, I should know this, but it's hard to keep up with everything. And I said, "What's your record?" And you said 10-1. Man, you got to be proud of that.
Yeah, we're off to a good start. I've got a good group of guys this season. Got some good seniors with some good experience, and some good younger guys that have really come on and have been playing well. So it is good to be off to a good start.
Well, let me say this. I go back a long time. When I was in high school, I think I was 2 years ahead of your father, who's also known as Jimmy McDowell.
That's right.
And he played basketball and football at Lebanon High School. Quite an athlete, really. But I think he's doing okay, doing well.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Still hustling a little bit. Still out trying to sell a car every now and then. And
I'm sure he misses Dr. Larry Locke. They were very close friends. It used to be going around town. If I saw one, I usually saw the other one in the weekday anyway.
Yeah, he does. He's not the only one. Larry Locke had a great influence on a lot of people, and he left a great legacy. And I know he really helped my dad a lot, and my dad helped him, and so they were a great combo for the town.
And I think Jimmy has spent a lot of his last years trying to help people who've had some problems that maybe he went through earlier in life.
He has. He's never sitting still. He's always going out helping people. He never tells anybody no, and he's been a great example for me.
Yeah. Well, and your mother, of course, taught school for years and has retired, I think. I hope she's doing okay.
She has. She finally retired about, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, and she's doing a great job as grandmother to my two girls and to my sister's little boy, and she's really enjoying her retirement.
Well, that's great. You have two daughters. How old
I do.
are they?
Avery and Bailey. Avery's 6 and Bailey's 4. So we had a big Christmas. They both got some bikes. Santa brought on some bikes, and so with the warm weather, it's nice to be out riding those around yesterday. And we had a really good Christmas. My wife Meredith and I, and my family and my in-laws all took care of me good. So,
well, I guess it's just kind of back to the old grind now. But how long have you been the head coach here?
This is my 9th year.
Has it been that long?
It has.
Wow. Well, you've had some success. In fact, I don't know your record, but I think you've got a winning record, haven't you?
Yes. So in my 9 years, I think just looking at that, just recently, 156 and 91 overall. We've been fortunate to have some good players, especially the last 6 or 7 years. We've really kind of been able to make a change from when we first took over the program. So, like you said, off to a good start this season, and we're back at it today. We'll have practice this morning, and we're playing in a tournament down in Franklin the next 3 days. So, basketball, the holidays with Thanksgiving and Christmas, we really don't get a whole lot of time off.
So practice today, and today is Thursday. Okay, so Friday, Saturday, or what's the schedule there?
So the way that the holidays fell this time, the tournament that we're playing in, the Middle Tennessee Invitational Tournament down at Franklin High School, we will play tomorrow, and then win or lose, we'll play Saturday, and then taking Sunday off, and then play you'll play your last game on Monday.
Okay, all right. Well, at least you got let's say a 24-hour break or something like that after you played 2 games. What are your chances there? I mean, will you definitely? Is it you lose, you're out?
It's not you're guaranteed 3 games.
Oh, okay.
So if you win, you'll advance to the semifinals and then on to the championship. If not, hopefully you're not playing in that 7th place consolation game early on Monday morning. So.
Yeah, right. What do you feel your chances of doing well there?
There's some good teams down there. We open up with Nolensville, which is a relatively new school from Williamson County. I think they've been open about 5 years. They've got a good team. They've got a new coach this year who was at Clarksville Northeast previously. So, I've watched some film on them over the last few days, and I think we got a good chance to play with them on our side of the brackets. Rossview out of Clarksville, and then Ravenwood also out of Williamson County. And then on the other side of the bracket, there's the host school, Franklin, White House, McGavick out of Nashville, and then Loretto. So there's some good teams in there. But I think if we go and we play, we should have an opportunity to have some success. So
10-1 is really well. Have you played any really super teams yet?
Well, and we did win that tournament down in Watertown last week. Coach Matt Bradshaw from Watertown, and then put on a really good event. Sponsored by Aflac, and one of my former classmates, Kelsey Everett, with Aflac. They put on a really good event, and we beat Cookville in the finals there of that tournament. Malcolm Logue, senior for us, was MVP of the tournament, and then 2 other seniors, David Green and Gavin Reasonover, and then a junior, Kobe Tibbs, and then a freshman, Jared Hall, all made the all-tournament team. So it was
way to go.
It was a good event there. To finish up our pre-Christmas schedule. Mount Juliet has been really good this season. They're our only loss. They've got Coach Allen does a really good job there, and we played them in our first district game, which is tough to go against them in a county rivalry in your first district game. But they've got a really good team. They've got some. Will Pruitt is the non-AAA reigning MVP, and he's committed to go to Lipscomb, and he's been having a really good season, and I felt like we did a pretty good job with him in that game, but we missed some opportunities down the stretch and lost to them by 6. So beat Hendersonville in our other district game before Christmas. So we're sitting at 1-1 in the league. We'll play in these 2 Christmas tournaments, and then we'll actually go to Tullahoma on January the 3rd and play against former Lebanon assistant coach Jason Welch, and play against them, and then we'll be back in district play against Wilson Central on January the 7th.
Let's talk a bit the composition of your team for just a little bit. Are you heavy with seniors, upperclassmen?
So one thing that we've been able to kind of build is a pretty solid pipeline of all our classes. I've got 4 seniors right now, and they all start. Those 3 guys I mentioned previously: Malcolm Logue, David Green, and Gavin Reasanover, and then also Polo Phillips. So those guys have played a lot, basically since they were sophomores. So they've got a lot of experience under their belt, which definitely helps. Got some juniors that have been playing really well. Jamar Kennard and Kobe Tibbs are 2 guys that have been playing quite a bit. DeQuante Shannon, who was our running back in football and had a really good season out there, has made that transition into inside in the hardwood. And then sophomore Jackson Painter, who actually is coming back from an ankle injury. He didn't get to play in our Watertown tournament. He got hurt in practice, but hopefully we'll see. He may be able to come back this week for the tournament. If not, he should definitely be back by the time we get back into district play. And then got freshman Jared Hall, who is, like I said, made all tournament last week, who's really been progressing quite a bit and getting used to the speed of play and the physicality coming up from transitioning from middle school. So we've been playing, those have been primarily the guys who've been playing a lot of minutes.
One question will go to break. Playing in these tournaments, does that help prepare you for tournament time at the end of the season?
Yeah, no doubt. It playing on those quick turnarounds, also playing 3 games and playing on a back-to-back with a limited amount of turnaround and preparation really simulates those district tournament and region tournaments that we're trying to get ready for come February.
Yeah. All right, Jim McDowell, coach of the Lebanon Blue Devils, boys basketball is with us. We got a lot more to talk about when we come back from this break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And once again, Commander Chuck off for the holidays, but we would like to thank our sponsor of traffic, Absolute Kubota. They feature Red Max with a complete inventory of weed eaters, blowers, and hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner, up to a 4-year warranty. And they are located at 1325 West Main in Lebanon, and you can call them at 615-449-6171.
This is Vincent Lenning from Verdine Supply, locally owned and operated for over 40 years. We provide residential and commercial plumbing and electrical supplies. We are located on Highway 70, just west of Highway 109. My staff and I are available to assist you with any project you may have. Conveniently located at 6966 Lebanon Road, Mount Juliet, Tennessee, quarter mile west of Highway 109. Call us today, 453-9222, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Verdine Supply.
The temperature's dropping, and so are the prices at Bates Ford. We got some great deals for you. We got vehicles with rebates up to $10,000, 0 interest for 72 months. On the service side, we got tires with rebates of up to $140. We've got the Works vehicle package, which includes an oil change and a tire rotation for the low price of $49.95. Come see us at Bates Ford, 1673 West Main Street, 444-8221, or visit us on the web at www.tonybatesford.com, the dealer that will trade for anything that don't eat.
Coleman and Company here on this Thursday morning. It is December 26th, and we've got Jim McDowell, coach of the Lebanon Blue Devils. That says a lot when you think about the history of the Blue Devils, and they hadn't always won, but I mean, you're walking in the same footsteps as Randall Hutto and Hester Gibbs, and when I was in high school, Frank Griffin was the boys basketball coach. There's been a bunch of you, but you seem to enjoy it, and with a 10-1 record and losing only to Mount Juliet, you're off and running this year, Jim.
Yeah, they're really. I know Coach Gibbs was there for several years from the in this, I believe
long enough to get the court now.
Yeah, no doubt. And then Coach Hutto was there for a long time, who was was coach when I played, and he's been a great influence on me, not only as a player but also as a coach and also as a friend. And then Coach Doug Kyle was there before me, and he was an assistant coach when I played, and he's actually the head coach at Independence High School now down in Williamson County. But
was Coach Gibbs there at all when you were in high school or coaching?
Coach Gibbs was not there. He he had retired at that point. He was working out I remember going out to the country club and him being lifeguard when I was growing up some. But his impact and his footprint or fingerprints on the program were definitely there through Coach Hutto and, Coach Troy Bond was an assistant at that time who had played for Coach Gibbs, and
well, how does it there's the legacy, I guess, is the word here, and I mean, and you're now a part of it, and I mean, you've probably got a chance to be there with the best stuff and the way you're going right now.
Well, that's something that I really take pride in as a Blue Devil, and just knowing the history of the program, and it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to our community, I feel like. And so that's something we try to instill in our players is that you're not just playing for this team or this year. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot to have that Lebanon on your chest and to be a Blue Devil. And so it's an honor to me to be mentioned in the same breath as those guys. And anytime you say Lebanon or you go and you play somewhere, that people always talk about Coach Gibbs or Coach Hutto. Yeah. And so just trying to maintain that and
well, how much like them are you? Or it doesn't even probably doesn't matter. Every coach has his own style and personality to some extent, but at the same time, you have been influenced by those before you. So talk about that a little.
Well, I know that I'm nowhere near as tough as Coach Gibbs, from what I've heard. I mean,
you probably are
right. And then Coach Hutto is, he was tough. I mean, I know right now as county mayor, you kind of see him and he's wearing his suit and tie every day, and shaking hands and kissing babies and. But when it came, 2:30 or 3 o'clock when we came down into the gym, he was tough and he was intense, and he got a lot out of his teams from that mindset, and that's something that I think I don't know that necessarily kids have changed, maybe circumstances have changed a little bit, and so I try to take the things that I've learned from those guys and hearing stories and going through it, and also from other coaches that I've worked with, from Coach Kyle and Coach Brendan Burks that was at Riverdale, and Coach Bond at Wilson Central, and just kind of melt all those things together into what we're doing now.
I think you gotta get mold a team together, but you got to be a motivator, and everybody is not motivated in exactly the same way. You got to push the right buttons, and as coach, you got to figure out the right buttons.
Yeah,
that's about right.
There's no doubt about that. Some guys you can really yell at and get on them, and they'll respond that way. And some guys, if you do that, then they'll shut down, and you won't be able to get anything out of them. So. I treat
that.
No doubt about it. So I try to tell our guys I try to treat them all equally, but it's not necessarily all the same. You're going to treat a senior different than a freshman, and but that's the thing. That's why I've got all this gray hair right now. Is trying to figure out the balance of how to do it and the right way to do it and when to push those buttons.
Win their respect though too, and make them want to play for you, play for the school, play for the team. There's a lot of motivation there. It's just doing it the right way, I think.
There's no doubt about it. And one thing that I do think that is unique with our program is from our Blue League that we've been able to establish our elementary league, and then with our Tennessee Blue Devils AAU program, like these guys that are seniors, I've been around them or helping to coach them since they've been in the 6th grade. So they know me. We've got a mutual respect there. I love those guys. I love the guys that I coach. I've got 2 daughters, but when I walk in that locker room, I've got 15 sons. And so that's something that, I think about them. I pray for them. there's many nights that I lose sleep thinking about them. And, but at the same time, I feel like that's one of the reasons why we've been able to have success. I've got a great coaching staff with Zach Martin and Derek Southworth that have been with me for all 9 years. And then,
by the way, Derek Southworth was the teacher of the year.
County Teacher of the Year, that's right.
Program. Yes, it seemed like a nice young man.
Great guy, great teacher. He does a great deal for our program. One of my former players, Cameron Oliver, is back helping coach, and then I've got two good freshman coaches in August Shates and Mark Sandoval, and so it takes all those guys and having all of them and being able to establish the standards that we have for our program has been a positive for us.
Well, you have the school is relatively new. I don't know how long it's been there, but I think your facilities are up to date. You've got probably all you need as far as that goes, and you got a lot going for you.
Yeah, so the school was built in 2012, and so this is our 7th year there, and we are very fortunate to have great facilities, not only for in the season and practice. We've got 2 great gyms. So at the old school, if you weren't in the main gym, then sometimes you're a little bit limited on what you could do in the auxiliary gym. But both of our gyms are great, and then we're able to host some different things, in the spring and in the summer as far as tournaments, and run 3 floors by dropping a curtain in the middle and do some stuff there. So that's been good from a fundraising standpoint, and we're very blessed, and not just from the gyms, but the locker rooms and all those things.
Well, I was talking with Coach Bradshaw, and he last Thursday, I guess it was, about his tournament up there, the Aflac tournament that you won, and he mentioned on his team that he had some that had played football, and they were just now coming to really reach their prime in basketball. Do you allow, or do you have some maybe play baseball or football as well as basketball?
One thing that's really great right now at Lebanon High School is we've got a great group of coaches. Chuck Gentry is a good friend of mine. He's done a great job with football, and I want as many of my guys that want to play football. Will Wakefield does a great job in baseball, and same thing. We want our guys to be competing and trying to play as much as they can. So sharing athletes is something that we really are in favor of, and that we really encourage. And so, I've had more guys playing multiple sports now than ever, and so that's a good thing. I did. I didn't play football. I ran cross country and played tennis. But I did play multiple sports, and so that's something that definitely encourage our guys to do.
Well, of course, I can understand that. I can see maybe both sides of it, but really from a somebody that's high school age, I don't see why that they should be limited to one sport. If they're a good athlete and want to do all the rest, you're taking a lot away from them if you don't allow that, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, some of our best players, best athletes are guys that can make those transitions. Polo Phillips is a guy that played football and then comes right into basketball, and a lot of those guys are playing the multiple sports. Even they'll go to football practice and they'll come up to school and shoot. Or DeQuante Shannon's playing football and then he's in the gym before school shooting the basketball. So those guys you can somewhat limit them if you want to, but they're gonna play, and so that's something that we really look forward to.
Excuse me, I'm thinking ahead here, but how well supported do you feel you are by the student body, especially, and by the community?
I tell you, with Coach Barrett, our girls coach, and I, we're very fortunate to have the student support that we do. Especially with the success our girls programs had, and as well as our boys, that we feel like we're putting a good product out on the floor, and our students have responded. I mean, the night we played Mount Juliet, our student section was full. And that's not just Mount Juliet, night in, night out. They get there for the girls' game at 6:30, and they stick around. And it's a big thing for our kids, for our players, because they really feed off of that energy and excitement. Our community has always been supportive of us, and that's something that we really take pride in and we really appreciate.
Well, I'm sure not only as coach, but when you were a player, if the stands were full and they were really yelling for you, it helped.
Yeah, as a player, definitely made you a little bit more nervous, but you'd much rather play in front of a big crowd than not one at all. And so, our guys, they do really appreciate that. Our students, I can't thank them enough. Our administration also does a great job of supporting us with Dr. Scott Walters and all of our assistant principals. And, athletic director Zach Martin has done a phenomenal job of establishing, a great group of coaches there at Lebanon High School. And I'm really proud to be a Blue Devil.
Well, I don't know whether to ask you this or not, but I'm going to. What's it cost for a ticket to see a game?
Hey, it's only $6. We may have to pull the fire alarm to get Chris Dowell up there after what he was saying earlier. But maybe if he goes home, he'll come back and catch us one night. But no, we. It's $6 to get in. I mean, that's cheaper than a movie ticket, and you'll get your price of admission.
All right, got a minute left here. When's your next game?
So we'll play tomorrow down at Franklin High School in a tournament.
You'd like a nice delegation of fans to come down to Franklin.
That's right. We're in the midst of I think maybe a seven or 8 game home or road swing between this Watertown tournament, Franklin tournament. We go to Tullahoma. Then go to Wilson Central, so we won't be back home for a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, it's really been nice to have you here, and I guess like I could say about you that I did Chris earlier, he could have told me no, you could have told me no, but it's really a pleasure to have you here and to just hear you talk about what all is going on, and even more nice is to have a 10-1 record at this point. And who knows? You got aspirations of being in the state tournament this year?
Well, I mean, we always have those aspirations. We're trying to work and get better every day to try and make sure that we're playing our best basketball come February and March. And we'll see.
All right, we'll wait and see. We will. Jim McDowell, thanks so much. Appreciate your visit.
Thank you.
That is going to do it for this Thursday. Join us tomorrow if you will, and until then, I wish you a tremendous day.